Hello everyone and Happy New Year! This is NWS Columbia meteorologist Steve LaVoie bringing you the 2025 edition of our Year in Review, highlighting some of the most significant weather events across the Midlands and CSRA. This is the third video in this series. If you would like to go back and see what happened in the NWS Columbia forecast area in 2023 and 2024, you can find these videos here on YouTube. We'll also link these in the description for your convenience. Unlike previous years, where severe thunderstorms played a key role in our January weather, we had several significant winter events in 2025. The first of these occurred on January 10th when much of the Midlands saw accumulating freezing rain. As you can see from the summary graphic on the right, the area of greatest impact was across the northwestern Midlands, including portions of Fairfield, Newbury, and Saluda counties, which saw up to a quarter inch of ice accumulation. By mid-January, the potential for an extended period of cold weather and possible snow emerged. The post on the right side of the screen from January 18th was our most popular social media post of the year, and shows the possibility of a high-impact winter event across our forecast area. In the end, widespread snow did fall across our forecast area, though the heaviest amounts, in excess of 3 inches, were generally observed in the coastal plain. This included parts of Bamberg, Barnwell, Clarendon, and Orangeburg counties. The January snowstorm was part of a more significant event that brought accumulating snowfall to coastal portions of the Gulf, southeastern United States, and the Mid-Atlantic. In a reversal of usual trends, the heaviest snow fell in the coastal plain of South Carolina, while the upstate saw little to no snowfall accumulation. As we moved into meteorological spring, our first significant severe weather event occurred on March 5th, which included the issuance of a tornado watch for portions of the forecast area. This event ended up being focused in the Columbia metro area, where there were scattered reports of damage. While we did issue a few tornado warnings, none were confirmed from this event. Unfortunately, our largest tornado event of the year would soon follow on March 16th. The March 16th severe weather event was more widespread than the last one, and most of our counties were under one of 2 tornado watches that day. After the storm had passed, NWS meteorologists conducted storm surveys in both the Midlands and CSRA, finding evidence of 4 tornadoes. There were 2 EF0 tornadoes in Burke County, Georgia, a brief EF0 tornado in Barnwell County, and an EF1 tornado in Lexington County on the north shore of Lake Murray. The busy month of March concluded with another widespread severe weather event on the 31st. This time it was the town of Utahville in eastern Orangeburg County that saw the most significant weather, when hail of golf ball size fell. April and much of May were relatively quiet across our forecast area, but our 5th tornado of the year touched down early in the morning hours of May 12th in the Langley community of Aiken County, causing significant damage to their fire rescue headquarters. Our 6th tornado of the year would occur along a line of severe thunderstorms on May 30th. This event produced a large swath of wind damage across the forecast area, with the worst hit areas from Swansea to Lake Marion in Clarendon County. Damage from an EF1 tornado was embedded within this swath of wind damage south of the town of Somerton in Clarendon County. Early June featured several consecutive days of severe weather, with the most impactful event occurring on June 7th, followed by more localized events on the 8th and the 9th. While the June 9th event was focused in the central part of our forecast area, this is where the 8th and final tornado of the season would occur, when an EF1 tornado moved across Lexington County south of Chapin. There was also a tornado in Elbert County, Georgia, that dissipated just inside the bounds of our forecast area earlier on June 9th. Particularly hot and humid weather in late June prompted heat advisories for our forecast area. A non-severe thunderstorm on the 24th of June produced what we call a bolt from the blue, striking Lake Murray, which was not located near the parent cloud. This led to nearly 24 people being struck by lightning, who were swimming in the lake at the time of the lightning strike. The following day saw another widespread severe weather event, with mostly wind damage being reported. In the month of July, we saw trouble in the tropics when Tropical Storm Chantal, the 3rd named storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, made landfall along the South Carolina coast near Litchfield Beach. Fortunately, impacts from Chantal were limited across our forecast area. Chantal would go on to be the only landfalling tropical cyclone in the United States in 2025, a much-needed break for the southeastern U.S. Of the tropical cyclones that roamed the Atlantic basin in 2025, only Barry and Chantal would make landfall on the North American continent, though Major Hurricane Melissa had a devastating landfall on the island of Jamaica, later moving on to Cuba and the Bahamas. This hurricane season ended up being near normal by most metrics, with 13 named storms and 5 hurricanes, owed largely to higher than expected wind shear and a very quiet seasonal peak. As mentioned, no hurricanes made landfall in the United States, the first time that happened since 2015, and most of the named storms this year curved out to sea. 3 Category 5 hurricanes were tracked in 2025, but only Melissa would make landfall. Melissa was the 13th and final storm of the season, and was the strongest hurricane to make landfall in Jamaica in modern records. Melissa made landfall with estimated sustained winds of 185 miles per hour and a central pressure of 892 millibars. The late summer and autumn months were fairly quiet across our forecast area, so we now jump to December and an extended period of below normal temperatures, which we saw during the first half of the month. During the peak of the cold spell, our office issued a cold weather advisory as wind chills fell below 15 degrees in most locations. While cold weather is normally expected in December, it was a bit of a surprise when the trend reversed and much of late December featured record warmth. The week of Christmas had several days of very warm weather, with record highs being broken at Columbia and Augusta on December 27th. The record high was also tied in Columbia on Christmas Eve and broken on Christmas Day. These graphics show how many degrees above or below normal the high temperature was at Columbia and Augusta each day in December 2025. The year came to a close on a cold note. We will close out our year in review with this graphic we released on social media, highlighting many of the extremes observed across our forecast area this year. Here at the airport, we saw 3 days with a high temperature of at least 100 degrees in 2025, while the 101-degree high on July 28th was the only day with temperatures above 100 degrees at the Augusta airport. Columbia also saw more rainfall than Augusta or Orangeburg this year, but thanks to that January snowstorm, we ended up seeing more snowfall at Augusta than Columbia. And that is another year in the books for the Midlands and CSRA. As you saw, our region sees weather of all types over the course of the year, so it is important to follow us on social media to stay ahead of the storm. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Facebook, X, and here on YouTube, where we post some of our content, such as this video, several days early. This is NWS Columbia meteorologist Steve LaVoie signing off. As we look forward to 2026, remember to always remain weather aware.